What's up, family? Blessings to you all. I am Patrick O'Quinn. I'm a financial advisor here in Indiana. I'm also an active trader for about 8 years now. This is the Income Group 2.0 stock trading course brought to you by API Group LLC and myIncomeGroup.com. Okay, family, I'm super excited to bring you the stock trading course finally by Income Group 2.0. I'm going to start you off with some stock trading basics. Number one, what is stock trading? What are you doing when you're trading stocks? When you're trading stocks, you're buying and selling stocks in an attempt to time the market and, of course, hopefully to make a profit. What is a buy? A buy is buying a share or shares of a company in anticipation of the price going up in hopes to sell it for more than you bought it. What is a sell? When you sell, selling a share or shares of a company in anticipation of the price going down, making a profit from selling the shares at a higher price before price drop. And you may have never heard of this, but it's something that you're going to know. It's called take profit. Your take profit is the specific point that position will close out and take all profit gain. So basically what this is, family, this is the level that you can set so that if you're not watching the chart or you're not watching your trade, the position will automatically close and take your profit. Maybe the most important is the stop loss. The stop loss is the specific point that position will close out and stop excess loss from being taken. Yes, family, I say most important because one thing you need to remember is that you will not be 100% right in this market. You will take losses. The goal is to take more wins than you take losses. So when you take that loss, you want to take less loss than you would take gain. You always want to be able to receive a greater reward than the risk that you take to receive that reward. So therefore you set your stop loss to make sure that if you're not watching the charts and your trade starts to go bad and it goes the wrong way on you, then you won't take huge losses. You only take the amount of loss that you set in your stop loss. Today we're also going to get into support and resistance. And I'm going to show you this on the chart here in a second, but first let's take a look at it. Support and or support level is a low level or line where price stops its movement downward to consolidate or move upward. So your support level, family, is basically like your floor. Where does price stop? An important thing to note as well, when you're finding support or resistance, when you see it become a floor the first time, you always want to look left and see if it has touched that floor any other times in history. Next up is your resistance. When you're drawing a resistance and or resistance line, it is a high level or line where price stops its movement downward to consolidate or move upward. And this is basically the opposite of the floor, family. This is your ceiling. This is where price goes upward to where it can't go anymore and it turns around and comes down. That becomes your ceiling. When you draw the ceiling, again, you want to look left and see how many times has it touched that ceiling in history. Depending on how many times it has touched that ceiling or touched that floor, lets you know how strong of a floor or of a ceiling you have developed. Okay, family, now let's get to the charts and tie it all together. Okay, family, one of the first things you need to do is you need to find a platform that you can trade on where you can look at charts and be able to analyze the market and decide where you want to enter and exit the trades. To do this, I use TradingView. There are other platforms out there. You're welcome to take a look at those and pick the one that you like the best. But for myself, I use TradingView, so that's the one I'm going to take you guys to today. So you go to your Google search or whatever search engine that you use, type in the words TradingView, hit enter. You may have to go down a little bit. You'll see it, tradingview.com. Click on it. It'll open up to a screen like this. Okay, you may have to make an account. This is an account that I have already, and the account is already made. So I'm not sure if it may open you up to a different screen. but you still will have this search bar no matter what screen you're on. So go to this search bar, and just for general purpose, we're going to use the company Apple so that we're all on the same page. You type in the word Apple, go down here where you see Apple and the American flag to the right. It says stock Nasdaq with the American flag over here. Click that, and it'll open up a chart for you. Let's say if you click Apple and Apple opens up like this and the chart doesn't show how the same chart that we're looking at, then all you need to do is go over here and click this launch full chart view. Okay, family, this is the current chart for Apple as of today. Okay, family, first thing I want you to do, if your chart has this down here, see this squiggly line down here? I want you to go over here and hit this X to delete pane. Take that off of there. And if this is popping up on your chart, this is because you haven't paid for the site. Neither have I. So just exit out. It'll pop up an ad. Exit out. It'll keep the ads off the screen for a little while. What you're looking at, family, is a candlestick chart for Apple. There are several different types of charts that you can use. I use candlestick charts. The green candles being when prices are going up. The red candles being when prices went down. Okay, so if you look over here to the right, family, this is where price is at right now, or where the market closed at last. If you look left, it takes you back in time. As you see, I'm going back. You see my cursor going back. As I go back, the date changes down here. This is July 11th of 22 at 9 o'clock. I don't know if that's AM or PM, but you see, so this is looking back in history. And if I click up here, this is the date range for the chart that I'm looking at. Now that I've clicked on the M, this is the monthly chart. So it shows me a larger scale of Apple's price. You see, if I go back here, that is May 1st of 2002. See the date down there? Now, right now, if I want to bring the chart, if I ever want to bring my chart back to current, I right click anywhere in the chart and hit reset chart. Okay, let me remove this. This is drawings that I've previously had. Okay, family, when you first open your chart, the first thing you want to know is what is price doing? Naturally, when you see more green candles and more moves upward, as you see here, the market is in the uptrend. And we'll get more into this on the next video when we do trend lines. But for now, it's obvious to you the market is going up. You can see the price moving up. If it was going the opposite direction, then of course it would be in the downtrend. But what we want to find is we're looking for an entry. What should we do? Should we buy? Should we buy here? Because this is where price is at right here. So should we buy, get in here and buy stock in anticipation for it to go up? Or should we get in and sell stock in anticipation of it going down? So first thing we need to do is we need to find our zone, or we need to find our support, and we need to find our resistance. Remember, the support is the floor, the resistance is the ceiling. So we'll go over here to the left. These are your drawing tools. The first one here, if you click this arrow, it'll bring up the drop down list. You go down here to horizontal line. Now you have access to a horizontal line. You want to move your cursor back over to where price was at, and you want to look immediately left. You want to find your floor. So to find the floor, you want to find where did price turn? Where did it go down? See here how it went down and it stopped to turn around? That will be my first indicator of a floor. So maybe it's not for certain, but since this is the first candle going left, and that's what we're always doing, we're looking left to see history, to see how the chart to see how price has done in history. So we see here it stopped and it turned around and it came back and went up. So this could be the first floor that we see. If you left click right here, it'll draw your line. This is your support line. It may be a little bit smaller because I've been using this and I made mine bigger. Yours may look like this. If you go up to the top here, You can click 2 times, 3 times, whatever you need to make it so that you can see the line. Okay, so that is my support. That is my line of support. If I look left, I can see it hits this line of support once, 2 times, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, all the way back to September 1st of 2020. So that means this is a pretty good line of support here. Okay, now we want to find our level of resistance or our ceiling. To do that, we do the same thing in reverse. Where did price stop going up and turn around and go down? Well, the first time we see that will be right here. You see that? Looking left. First time we see a ceiling where price stopped and turned around and went down will be right here. So we'll go over here, click the horizontal line again, bring your cursor back, and place your line of resistance right there. Okay, so now you have a support and resistance. This space in between the support and resistance, this is now your trading zone, or this is your zone. Some people trade in the zone, some people trade out of the zone. And I'll show you what that means a little later. Okay, now, before we make entry to a trade or before we buy or sell, what we are looking for is for a price to break out of this, out of the resistance, or to come through the floor out of the support. Then we will know if we want to get into a sell or if we want to get into a buy. Okay, and I'm going to take it to another chart so that we can do an actual mock-up trade and you guys can see how this all works. Okay, family, now let's put it all together and see how this works. Yes, I am still on Apple, but I am using the replay feature, so I'm on a different time frame than you are. I'm way back in 2018, so if your chart doesn't look the same, don't be alarmed. It's because I'm just using this feature to show you how to do this. Okay, so remember, first thing I would do, I would see where price is at. If I open up this chart, first thing I do is I come and I see where price is at. I'd be looking for my level of support and my level of resistance. If I look left, where the price turn around and go up, this will be my first level of support. Get another horizontal line. I need to find my resistance. See how I don't see any resistance here? That doesn't mean that there isn't any resistance. You just have to look further left. And if you don't see anything, because I don't see anything further left, I'm going to draw the ceiling there because that is where price stopped at, or that's where it closed at last. So that is my ceiling. This is my floor. This is now my zone. Now, remember what I said. For us to make a buy or to make a sell, we're waiting on it either to break out to the upside or to break out to the downside. Let's see. Okay, price broke out to the downside. Now we officially can get into a sell because at the close of this candle, we have broken through the zone and we are headed down. Now we're going to talk about take profit and stop loss. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what a trade would actually look like. Okay, if I want to get into a sell because I just saw that price broke below my line of support. So that's where price is at. Let's say this is where I'd be getting in. Okay, you see the green here? This is profit. This will be your profit. The end of the green line will be where my take profit line is at. Remember, take profit is where I wanted to stop and to take my profits and close out my position once I enter the trade. Up here in the red, this is in the red. This is out of the money. At the top of the red line, this will be my stop loss line, or where the position will be closed out and I will incur no more loss. Okay, as you can see right now, this is a 1-to-1, meaning that the profit I will make is equal to the risk that I can lose. We don't want that. We always want less risk than it would be reward. So we want more reward than risk. Therefore, see how I brought the stop loss down? And I'm going to bring it to right inside of that zone, because if it goes back in the zone and goes all the way up here, then we ought to be worried anyway. So I'm going to put it right there so that it closes out. And if it goes past this line, I will incur no more loss. But if I'm correct and it continues to go down into profit, I will incur way more profit than I do loss. All right, family, let's see how it goes. Okay, family, you see that? That is a successful trade. That was a successful sale. Now, let's say, for instance, I was away from the computer at the time, or I wasn't sitting watching the charts, because you can't sit and watch the charts 24/7. Now, what would happen if I wasn't watching and price went all the way down here, and then what if it went back up before I came back to the computer? So I would lose all of this money. So that's why I set a take profit where it will stop and take my profit once it reaches a certain point. And then no matter what the market does after that, I already locked in my profits. Just for educational purposes, let's continue to trade and see what would happen if we didn't say to take profit. And let's just say we assumed it was going to be a sale and we went into a sale, but we didn't say to take profit and we walked away from the computer. What would happen? You see that, family? All of this profit that you made right here, unless you came back and caught it right on time and stopped your position when it was in this profit, you would have lost all of that. It would have came back when it corrected, when the market corrected and it came back, then you lost your profit. And that's how quick it happens, family. So you have to be aware of what's going on. You have to set take profits and stop losses. Okay, let's remove this trade. And now that price has moved a little bit, let's set our support and resistance one more time. I'll take this to make the floor. You see what I'm doing here? I'm looking left and I'm drawing the line at the support where price touches the line the most. See, I have it here once, 2 times, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, so that's my floor. If I go up here and grab the ceiling, pull the ceiling down to where it touches the most. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and it may be even more looking further left. But right now, that's our zone. Okay, so remember what we're looking for in the zone. We're looking for price to do a breakout before we know if we're going to buy or sell. Okay, family, we have a breakout to the upside. So what does that mean? That's right, a buy. Okay, so let's enter a buy and see what will happen. That's where price is at. We'll get into the buy here. That is our take profit. Remember, we want to always take less risk and more reward. So we're going to make the stop loss here right under the zone. Here, I'll make it a little wider. There we go. We have more reward than we do risk. Now let's see what happens on this trade. Okay, family, it came down and touched the stop loss. That will mean that this trade was a loss. But keep in mind that we got more on our last trade and our reward than we lost on this trade. That means that if these two trades happened in the same day, then we had a winning day. And that's what it's all about, family, is getting more wins and greater wins than you get losses. Okay, family, I hope now you have a healthy understanding of what stock trading is, the stock trading basics, as well as support and resistance. Next time, we're going to talk about the trend line and how that can help you in your trading. Okay, family, before I go, I got to plug you in. Go to myIncomeGroup.com and grab this book, Make It Make Sense. It's the instruction manual for true wealth. It's written by Patrick O'Quinn. It is the instruction manual for true wealth. It is a step-by-step guide to true wealth. Okay, family, I'll catch you on the next video when we get into trend lines and continue our trading journey. Until next time, don't forget, progress is a process.